Right, how's everyone doing today? It is Burke Family 54 Comics. I'm Steve. I'm here with, as you can see, New X Guy, also known as Ryan Pond. What's up, man?
Yes, sir. Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good, you?
So far, so good. Kind
Did
of
I,
hot down here in Houston, but we make the best of it.
did I say that correctly? Is it New X Guy?
Just new guy, but I put the X in there for symmetry.
For what?
Symmetry,
Oh,
design.
okay. So we're going to be talking about what books we grabbed this week for New Comic Book Day, September 11th, 2019. I was able to grab just a handful of books. I got them here with me. Ryan doesn't have his with him right now, but he did get a couple books. And you're uh, an independent comic guy, right? You like the indies?
Yeah. I don't really tend to read too much of the big two. Every now and then, if there's a character that catches my attention, I'll grab a trade and try to, at least find out what the origin is of that character. But for the most part, I just read the indies and a lot of Kickstarter stuff too. I really like. I feel like with indies and Kickstarter stuff, what you get is sometimes it's bad, but sometimes they break all the rules and come up with something really unique and cool. So that's what really attracts me there.
Okay, all right. Well, it sounds like I should be reading more indie comics then.
Oh yeah, yeah. You check out some stuff and it's like, ooh, this is really bad. But other times they're not following the rules of an editor, and so you just find some amazingly unique stuff in there.
I really liked Donnie Cates' book that he did. Gosh, what was the name of that book? It was a 6-issue series about that grandpa with the sword. Gosh, what was it?
Oh, Samurai Grandpa.
No,
Oh, okay. I've been seeing
um,
that. I want to read
the
that one.
one that he won all the awards for that everyone wants. Like
Mm, I can't think of it right now.
comic book lurkers, what's up? Joe, hello. Indie comics are top right now. Man, what is the? I'll have to look it up really quick. How about while I do that, you go ahead and talk about what books you got this week.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, obviously the big one, Power Rangers, Go Go Power Rangers 23, which is most of what we'll probably be talking about. My other big exciting book is Thumbs number 4.
Okay.
And that series just like, took off like crazy whenever I first read it. The first issue, I was like, this is amazing. And every issue's been better than the last. So I'm super
Right.
excited about that. Um, Trying to think what else I picked up other than that. I can't think of anything right now. Mm,
That's all.
mm. Trying to think of what else I grabbed. Oh, I didn't pick up anything last week, so I did grab a couple. Usagi Yojimbo, the fourth one from the IDW run,
Okay.
which has really been blowing me away too. I've really liked that series so far. 4 issues in. Um, and what else did I grab? Oh, Kanto number 4. But I am like 2 issues behind on that one, so I probably won't be reading it soon. And I know there's one more book, but I can't even think of it right now.
Dang, dude, you were like love those indies, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I said, I think there's just there's a certain level of homogenized quality to the big two. Everything's like maintained by editors, and so you always get good books. Sometimes you get great books, but you never get like a truly bad book out of the big two for the most part.
Right. The book I
So,
just put it in the chat. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's God Country is the book I'm thinking of.
oh okay, yeah, I've never read that one. Heard about it.
Oh,
You
dude, you
say it's
have to
really
get the trade. I have it, and it is amazing. It's one of the
oh, I'm
best
gonna check
stories
it
I've
out.
ever read.
Awesome.
Okay, I got 3 books this week. The one that we're going to be talking about the most, like he said, is Go Go Power Rangers 23. I just got the regular cover because that's all my LCS had.
Yeah, Chino too.
Flash 78 variants. I always pick up the Flash, and I always pick up Batman. This is a Batman 78 variant as well. So I'm excited to read those, but I've only read Go Go Power Rangers 23 so far. What were your first off? Let's back up before we talk about the issue. They're doing a Necessary Evil storyline event right now. It's pretty good. Hey, Inhuman X, what's up? Them Houston boys taking over. LOL. I see you, Ryan.
Yeah, I saw him just today, but he looked busy, so I went
Yeah,
on about business.
yep, yep. I understand that. They're doing a Necessary Evil storyline by Ryan Parrott, and then in the Go-Go Power Rangers, Senna Grace is also writing it. What are your thoughts so far on the whole Necessary Evil storyline and events?
Um, I really like it. I think it started out kind of slow with the first issue. What was that, number 40 from Mighty Morphin? That one was kind of slow, but I think it was because it kind of had to reset and tell us where we're currently at. But and what's it called? Go Go 21. I wasn't really too big on because it was also another kind of reset issue. But since then, every issue has just been phenomenal, and they're really building on both sides of that. They're building towards something really interesting and intriguing.
I agree, man. Actually, I'm going to disagree with you a little bit there. Issue
Mhm.
40 was probably one of my favorites so far, just because like it set up all the new stuff like you talked about.
Yeah.
Um, but this past issue of Go Go 23 was really really good. What were your initial thoughts on that?
23. I thought it was a little less fun of a read than 22, but it gave us a lot more lore and developed the overall story a lot more. 22, I thought it was just like a lot of fun. It felt more like an episode of the show. And then we come into 23 and like they continue directly off that, but now they dive more into what's going on with Jason and build out a little bit more of the Necessary Evil plot line and story and what's really going on behind the scenes there.
And one of the things I noticed a couple of things. Obviously, the first one I noticed was you figure out why that second team was created, or you figure out like who decided to create that second team,
Yeah,
and that's Jason. He was basically under, I don't know if the right word, I don't know if it's like, I don't even know what it's like, an alternate universe, but he was showing him his past and memories and all this stuff, and he could also see the future. That was from the blue. What do they call that guy?
uh, man, stop asking me questions. I always forget. uh,
It's basically
uh,
like he. There's these three rangers that are
they're not the Master Morphers. They're
they're the grid masters or something.
yeah, like they represent the grid itself, like the physical
Right. So the blue
dimension.
one, yes, exactly. So the blue one basically takes over Jason, so he can see everything, uh,
Yeah.
and that's why Jason couldn't fight this bunny. But at the end, you basically figure out that he is going to create a new team and
Yeah.
whatnot.
And see, I thought that was a really cool twist because in 21 and 22 they kind of set it up like the blue man, I keep wanting to say Centurion, but that's not what they are. Anyway, in 21 and 22 they kind of give you the vibe that he is going to Jason to tell him like we need to put this team together, like it's all him, you know. And
Right.
then in this one they twist that all around and show you like he didn't even realize how bad it was. Jason's the one that's realized what's really going on and what they need to do, because in this issue he sees the past, present, and future, and the way they represented that I thought was really awesome. Like that's really good writing in my opinion, because that could have went so wrong, but they pulled
Right.
it off.
I thought it was really, really good. One of the things I noticed, like on page 2, I think we got a first appearance in this issue.
Of the Beast Morphers.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah,
have a first appearance of the Beast Morphers in this
yeah.
issue.
I've actually watched the first I don't know, 5, 10 episodes of that. It's on hiatus right now in the States for some reason. But I did keep up with like the first few episodes of that show, and it's okay. It's no original Power Rangers, but I thought it was really awesome that they brought them into the comic, and it really establishes that connection.
Yep, and I feel like almost every issue we got like a new first appearance or something big happening, whether it's Mighty Morphin or Go Go. I just feel like every issue there's something big happening, whether it's a new Blue Ranger or the new team or the Beast Morphers or whatever. You know what I mean? I feel like
Yeah.
every issue Ryan is doing a really good job of keeping everyone entertained.
Yeah, and that's something I really have always liked about his writing is one, the character interactions are really good, but two, the way he does like reveals and first appearances and stuff, he builds up to it well, but he never makes it like the only reason that that issue is there. Like it's just a part of the story, you know.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, to me, he does a really good job with that kind of stuff, and so that's one thing I'm excited about him kind of doing the outlines and kind of being the mastermind behind this event. Is I love the way he's put it together between both series, so they're still two different things, but they come together just so perfectly.
I can already tell you that I'm more excited about the Necessary Evil storyline than I was about Ryan Higgins' Shattered Grid. I thought Shattered Grid was gonna be great until they killed Tommy at the beginning, and the whole time, like he's not there, and Tommy's like my favorite character, obviously.
Yeah.
So, and then he just magically returns, which is never like it's the most confusing thing ever about how he returns. Like that
Mm.
last issue was so confusing. So I
Yeah.
feel like Ryan's writing is significantly better than Higgins.
Yeah, I mean, I think I told you before, but I kind of feel like Kyle Higgins, his writing is event focused, and so as long as the event is in front of him, it's pretty solid. But when you get to the point where like the event was over, it just kind of all fell apart. You know, like he didn't know
Yep.
what to write after he got to that moment. You know, so I'm really excited about what Perot's doing. I think he's crushing it so far.
Is it Perot or Parrot? I thought it was
I've
Parrot.
always said it Perot, but I've heard Parrot.
I thought it was
Like,
Parrot when I listened to that
yeah,
Ranger
I've learned
Danger
to actually
podcast that
say
you told me
it.
about.
Yeah, maybe I just have a little too much flourish to it, you know.
Yeah. There's also in this book we also see a character we haven't seen in a long time, and that's Matt.
Oh yeah. Well, he was in what 22?
Was he? I
Yeah,
feel
he.
like this is like the first issue we like they really had him in there where he's actually talking to one of the Power Rangers about being a Power Ranger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Well, he was in 21 or 22, kind of briefly. And it was basically just him and Kimberly. She's like, "Oh, hey, you're still around," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm always gonna be here. You know, if you ever want to talk or anything." And so this was kind of the continuation of that. I've liked Matt from the beginning. I think it's a really interesting dynamic to have somebody that is completely capable of being a ranger and knowing their secret, but being an outsider. Like it really just shakes up the whole dynamic to me, and it makes it really interesting.
It does. It almost is like it's kind of like interesting to see what they do from here
Yeah, yeah,
because like with the whole Tommy dynamic with Kimberly, like how does that change things? You know what I mean? Like
exactly. Yeah,
and like what's this whole like they never really specifically yet so far have gone over about the whole White Ranger creation. I feel like that's the whole centerpiece of this storyline.
do you think they're gonna tackle that, or do you think they're just gonna leave it as like what we got in the show as far as where his powers come from and all that kind of stuff?
No, I feel like they are gonna do it like the show. I feel like they're gonna say something about it. It's gonna be shown. It's not just gonna be not said. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's like okay, he's here. You
That
know, like
there'll be at least a panel. I feel like there'll be a whole page about it. That's what I'm
yeah,
guessing. Though I feel like there should be a whole like issue on it and like people's because like when he comes in he's the new leader and
yeah,
like how does that affect Jason? You know what I mean? I feel like
yeah,
that I kind of felt like that was going to be a reason why he created the new team is because he was kind of pissed off about that. But
yeah,
I don't know. What do you
yeah.
think?
Yeah, I think it'll be a. I think they'll get into it some, but I think it's going to be more of a B plot of one of the issues. But I definitely think they should, just because the comics have become so good. Like at first, it felt like they were trying to kind of stay true to the show, but they've gotten so deep and they've gotten so good that I'm fine with breaking away from the show. I don't feel any reason to stay attached to that. So anything that they choose to show or do like is cool with me because they're honestly they're doing it the way I wish the show could be done, you know?
Right.
So
what do you want them to like what are you looking forward to, or what would you like to see throughout however long Necessary Evil is? Which is there an ending point? Have they said what the last issue is?
yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking about that as you were saying it. I really don't know that they've told us how long this event will be. I kind of feel like it's gonna be like 10 issues, maybe, because it feels like this is just the beginning of where this is even headed, and this is what the fifth or sixth issue between both series
I think the
together.
sixth issue.
Yeah, so it definitely feels like the beginning. So if they do 10 issues of each series is of this event, that's a 20 issue crossover, so they could
Hmm.
do a lot. As
What?
far as what I would like to see out of it, I don't know. I really want them to dig into like the psychology of it all, and really get to see like Jason and Draken. That's what I would really like to see. What's going on inside their heads because I really like the Jason that they. I mean, I liked him from the show, but I really like how they do him in the comics. He's a really strong leader. He reminds me of Leonardo a lot, and he definitely has a solid head on his shoulders. And so I'd really like to see the psychology of how like an evil Tommy messes him up even more than him leaving and Tommy taking over.
Right.
Um, so that's kind of what interests me the most is kind of the psychology behind all of that.
I agree. I mean, that'll be like interesting to see. I would like to see more of the White Ranger though. Like he was he was in issue 40 and he's hardly been in it since. Like there's been a lot about the Omega Rangers and about like the past and whatnot. And like I understand we're building a lot, but I'm sure they'll show it more in the future because he's
Yeah.
one of the most popular Rangers. But I would like to see more of that. And I kind of want to know more about like what these villains are thinking or doing because we were talking about before we got on that at the on the last page you see that villain created for the comics named Dane that is from the same you said the same planet as Doggy Kruger.
Yeah, and I think he is like the Phantom Ranger or something in
Okay,
the show as well. So he does have the ability to morph and everything, but he was like the kind of the Zordon of the post Zordon era in a way.
right.
And I think it was the SPD Rangers that he was a part of that series. But he became pretty iconic, and so to see a new original character come from his planet and stuff, I think that'll be really interesting. But I find it kind of weird that they haven't introduced him. So like it'd be interesting to see him and Dane interact as well because they're from the same planet. These are the only two characters from this planet so far. So
Right.
let them interact as well and maybe get some background on what their planet's like.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, 'cause we've already seen Rita and Rita's mom and that whole planet thing when they switch colors and all that. It would be interesting.
Like that too. That was a great little run there.
That,
I
that was that was a lot better than I feel like the first like 5 to 8 issues. It was just like very like I don't know,
It
not
reminded me of Buffy.
it was too much depth, not enough action. So
Yeah, but I really liked the stuff they did with like the body switching and all that. I thought that was amazing, and to get into Rita and her mom and that other planet and where the dragon coin came from and all of that. I mean, to me, they nailed it. So I'm really excited to see what they could do with more of the lore, like Doggy. Like does Dane and Doggy Kruger even have a planet to go back to? What if it's
yeah,
like a Superman situation where like their planet's been destroyed, or Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z? Like
right.
those planets are gone. They can't go home, but there are aliens everywhere they go. So I think it'd be a really interesting concept to explore. So I do hope that they bring him in and we get to see that.
I wonder if they're going to show any more of the Beast Morphers, or if that was just going to be just like a one issue thing to pay homage to the show right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of think that that is what it is because the show, I don't even think it's finished the whole season, so I don't think they're gonna let them have free reign to like start writing stuff with those characters since we
Right.
don't even know their whole story yet.
Right.
So yeah, it definitely felt like a homage thing. Like let's throw a couple of extra Rangers in there just so people can see them and know that they are a part of this story at some point, maybe.
Right. So
One One really interesting thing I thought though, whenever he's fighting Draken, and you get the double page spread right there. Did you notice like Draken is all of his different forms?
I did not notice that.
Like there's like a in the spread, like there's one part of him it has a cape, and there's another part without it. Like
And
Draken.
different shields and whatnot, and different helmets. Like they had
Yeah, like
different,
the helmet, like how his costume kind of evolved over time.
right.
Whenever I was reading it, I was like, this is weird. Like, is this artist that inconsistent? And then once you get to where they're talking about how he was seeing the past, present, and future, I was like, oh, wait a minute, maybe that's
Right.
why.
This is the one you're talking about right here.
Yeah, that single splash.
Where
See how
he's got his cape here, but he does not have it.
like right there above it, yeah.
Yeah,
Like I thought it was weird. So is that how they're representing past, present, and future all at once? Is that what that is?
I would imagine so.
Because whenever I was reading it, I was like, this is
They have
strange.
to be. They have to be because the helmet. If you look at the helmet, it's not just the cape different. Like if you look at the helmet,
Yeah.
it's that
Yes.
one here, and then down here it's got five of them and the cape, and it's got the red thing in the middle, versus that one has a green one in the middle.
Yeah, and the one in the corner is a little bit different too, right?
Yep, they're all just a little bit different. Hey, what's up, Tony Sanders? How's it going? Yeah, I overall I really enjoyed this. I feel like I want to go back and start over and read 40, and then 21, 41, 22, 42, 23. You know what I mean? Read all back over just because it's like there's so much time in between each one. There's like it feels like more than 3 weeks between them. So, which I'm excited about this coming up too in December. Can you see it? Did I lose you? Oh no! I think I lost Ryan. I'm excited about Power Rangers Ninja Turtles. Um, maybe he'll jump back in. Tony, I appreciate you joining us. We're just talking about what books we got this week, and then we talked a lot about Go Go Power Rangers 23. I also got Batman 78, the variant, and then Flash 78, the variant. I kind of would prefer them not to have Flash and Batman come out the same week because those are my books that I love a lot. And I want to have one each week versus like now next week, neither one of them are going to come out. So, D Ronk, what up, dude? I know this is a sick cover. Well, Ryan lost connection. So, these are the books I got this week. We were talking a lot about Power Rangers. That we have our first appearance in here. We had the first appearance of the current show, current Power Rangers in here, the Beast Morphers. And then we figure out why the Omega Rangers were created. And they were actually Jason, the original Red Ranger. That was his idea to create the new Rangers because he could see the past, present, and future when he was fighting Draken in his fight in the issue. So Tony Sanders says, I love the Flash, and that's a clean Flash cover. Again, no Powers of X. No, I'm just gonna wait until the trade comes out and just buy the trade. Just because they're on like issue 4 of each, I think, right now, and I only have issue 1 and 2 of House of X and Powers of X #1. So I'm like, I don't know, like 5, 6 issues behind already. So I'm just gonna wait, be way easier, and cost a lot less. So that's what I'm gonna do. Well, that abruptly ended our talk for the night, but that's okay. I got to get to bed anyways, and get ready for tomorrow because tomorrow is going to be a long day. Tomorrow is our homecoming game and homecoming parade. So I'm going to be when I leave for work tomorrow at like 6:45. I'm not going to be home till like 9:45. So I have issue 1 and 2 of House of X and issue 1 of Powers of X. Apparently, I need issue 2 of Powers of X because that's like a first appearance there. So it's not a big deal either way though because I'm not a huge X-Men fan. So that's it. That's all I got. If you rewatch it and you're a Power Rangers fan, you should like mine and Ryan's thoughts on Go-Go Power Rangers issue 23. Thanks everyone for joining me. Manny, Tony, D-Runk, Joe, and Comic Book Lurkers. Thanks everyone for joining me. And remember, go Cats.